Hello there. This is Heirs to the Kingdom channel, and today's lesson we're doing chapters 33 and 34 of the book of Genesis. If you're new to this, it's a Bible study channel going through the King James Bible, not skipping anything. It's the Scripture's command. And so if you would, like, subscribe, and share this content, and we'll go ahead and get started. Should be a short lesson today, which is fine. We've had some long ones lately. But last we left off at the end of last lesson with 32, Jacob's going back, scared of his brother Esau. Esau's supposed to be bringing a bunch of men with him to meet Jacob as he's coming. And Jacob comes and meets the Lord, and wrestles with the Lord, wanting his blessing, to the point that the Lord touched his thigh and dislocated his thigh. Messed his leg up to get him to let go. Or what, either way, that's what it talks about here. And so, he's like, I'm not letting go till I get your blessing, because he realized that it was the Lord. So he said, Jacob met the Lord face to face. And so, let's continue on now from that part and go on to 33. And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau came, and with him 400 men, and he divided the children unto Leah and unto Rachel and unto the 2 handmaids. Another part I forgot was Jacob was now renamed Israel in the last lesson. But let's continue on here, verse 2. And he put the handmaids and their children foremost, and Leah and her children after, and Rachel and Joseph hindermost. And he passed over before them, and bowed himself to the ground 7 times, until he came near to his brother. And Esau ran to meet him, and embraced him, and fell on his neck, and kissed him, and they wept. So the fear was for nothing. He should have understood and had more of the faith in that, because God says, I'm going to deliver you into the land. You'll be just fine. Take care of you. But let's continue on here, verse 5. And he lifted up his eyes and saw the women and the children, and said, Who are those with thee? And he said, The children which God hath graciously given thy servant. Then the handmaidens came near, they and their children, and they bowed themselves. And Leah also with her children came near, and bowed themselves. And after came Joseph near, and Rachel, and they bowed themselves. And he said, What meanest thou by all this drove which I met? And he said, These are to find grace in the sight of my Lord. And Esau said, I have enough, my brother. Keep that thou hast unto thyself. And Jacob said, Nay, I pray thee, if now I have found grace in thy sight, then receive my present at my hand, for therefore I have seen thy face, as though I had seen the face of God, and thou wast pleased with me. Take, I pray thee, my blessing that is brought to thee, because God hath dealt graciously with me, and because I have enough. And he urged him, and he took it. And he said, Let us take our journey, and let us go, and I will go before thee. And he said unto him, My Lord knoweth that the children are tender, and the flocks and herds with young are with me. And if men should overdrive them one day, all the flock will die. Let my Lord, I pray thee, pass over before his servant, and I will lead on softly, according as the cattle that goeth before me, and the children be able to endure until I come unto my Lord unto Seir. Now, I talked about this before, when Jacob took his family and his herds 3 days' journey away from Laban, that, normal walking, you could do 10, 15, 20 miles by yourself easily, but when driving a herd, it's totally different. You have to walk, slower, quite a bit slower sometimes. So it's probably just a couple of miles, a few miles away. Either or. Continue on here, 15. And Esau said, Let me now leave with thee some of the folk that are with me. And he said, What needeth it? Let me find grace in the sight of my Lord. So Esau returned that day on his way unto Seir. And Jacob journeyed to Succoth, and built him an house, and made booths for his cattle. Therefore the name of the place is called Succoth. And Jacob came to Shalem, a city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, when he came from Padan Aram, and pitched his tent before the city. And he bought a parcel of a field, where he had spread his tent at the hand of the children of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of money. And he erected there an altar, and called it El Elohe Israel. Chapter 34. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. And when Shechem, the sons of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. I told you that name's going to be important later on because of this. You know, she was going to be not treated nicely by the people of the land. And the brothers, well, get on with it here. Verse 3. And his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel, and spake kindly unto the damsel. And Shechem spake unto his father Hamor, saying, Get me this damsel to wife. And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah his daughter. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace until they were come. And Hamor the father of Shechem went out unto Jacob to commune with him. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it, and the men were grieved, and they were very wroth, because he had wrought folly in Israel in lying with Jacob's daughter, which thing ought not to be done. And Hamor communed with them, saying, The soul of my son Shechem longeth for your daughter. I pray you give her him to wife. And make ye marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you. And ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. Dwell and trade ye therein, and get you possessions therein. And Shechem said unto her father and unto her brethren, Let me find grace in your eyes, and what ye shall say unto me I will give. Ask me never so much dowry and gift, and I will give according as ye shall say unto me, but give me the damsel to wife. And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully, and said, Because he had defiled Dinah their sister. And they said unto them, We cannot do this thing, to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us. But in this will we consent unto you, if ye will be as we be, that every male of you be circumcised. Then will we give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. But if ye will not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then will we take our daughter, and we will be gone. And their words pleased Hamor and Shechem, Hamor's son. And the young man deferred not to do the thing, because he had delight in Jacob's daughter, and he was more honorable than all the house of his father. And Hamor and Shechem his son came unto the gate of their city, and communed with the men of their city, saying, These men are peaceable with us. Therefore let them dwell in the land, and trade therein, for the land, behold, it is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us for wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only herein will the men consent unto us, for to dwell with us, to be one people, if every male among us be circumcised as they are circumcised. Shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs be ours? Only let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us. So here's some also deceit in there, talking about everything that they have will be with them. If they become one people, they pretty much plan on taking over. Verse 24. And unto Hamor and unto Shechem his son hearkened all that went out of the gate of the city, and every male was circumcised, all that went out of the gate of the city. And it came to pass on the third day, when they were sore, that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brethren, took each man his sword, and came upon the city boldly, and slew all the males. And they slew Hamor and Shechem his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house, and went out. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain, and spoiled the city, because they had defiled their sister. They took their sheep, and their oxen, and their asses, and that which was in the city, and that which was in the field. And all their wealth, and all their little ones, and their wives took they captive, and spoiled even all that was in the house. The spoiled part means they took for treasure, took as treasure. Last couple verses of this lesson. And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, Ye have troubled me to make me to stink among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites, and I being few in number, they shall gather themselves together against me and slay me, and I shall be destroyed, I and my house. And they said, Should he deal with our sister as with an harlot? And of course, that's the end of this lesson. And it's a very true thing. Should you treat a woman as a harlot, especially one that's pure and trying to be good and everything, in nature like that? Because she's supposed to wait for her wedding night, and she was waiting. But it was taken from her. Now, you remember the base training of marriage is whatever man takes a woman's virginity, either by choice or force. That's what later on in Scripture we're going to be reading about, is her husband. That's the rule of marriage, is whoever takes the virginity. But also, marriage is till death do us part, so now she's technically free to remarry properly. But we also had the other part in here talking about he lay with her and then wanted to be wife. So you clearly have different parts of the land and different beliefs in one area about what is what. And that's when you have conflict, is when you have, different beliefs trying to share one area. Scriptures later on we're going to be reading says if you want to live in peace, you must be with like-minded. We'll get to these parts as I talked about them before, and we got to them the first time I went through the Bible, but, I know these parts are in the Scripture. There's some parts you just have memorized. I can't remember exactly where it is. One day I might have that part memorized, but, with my dyslexia, I'm surprised I have as much as I do have memorized. But like I said, that's the end of this lesson. That's not even 15 minutes. And that's okay. As I said, we had a couple of long lessons. Nothing wrong with having a short lesson today. So, like I always say, don't forget to pray. There's always something to pray about. Every land that has things like this with two beliefs trying to live in, one area, they're going to have problems. We got to pray for those people. Pray for all countries, all nations, all people, all situations, the lost, the found, everybody and everything. There's always something to pray about. And don't forget to give God all the glory, praise, worship, and thanks in everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. But I'm going to go ahead and end this lesson here. So until next time, God bless, good night, and goodbye.